I do not know exactly that answer.
Does the university ever chain doors in buildings, or is that unusual?
No, that is unusual.
Were the chains already on the doors, or is it something that the shooter brought in?
I do not know.
In between the time of the two shootings, there was a space of about 2 hours. Did you hear any reports of anything suspicious happening?
No.
So it went from point A to point B.
That's correct.
And what was your reaction when you heard about the second series of shootings?
Dismay. I mean, this is a tragic event. I can't express how much sorrow I feel for the families and everyone involved in this incident. But we're doing everything we can to bring this investigation to a successful conclusion, find out all the facts, and go from there.
Do you feel like a lockdown would have been helpful after the first one, or do you feel like it would have been too hard to get a lockdown going on, everyone alerted?
You know, you can second guess all day. We acted on the best information we had at the time.
In the first shooting, we hear two victims. We've heard that one of the victims is a resident, an RA. Can you confirm that?
I really don't know if the family has been notified, so I'd rather not comment on that.
At what point were other jurisdictions contacted as far as the investigation goes?
Immediately.
What kind of weapons were used?
President Steger,
Yeah.
could you talk about the very difficult process of notifying these families, what that process is and how it's done?
Well, as Chief Flincham said, we are in the process now of still identifying the victims. As we do that, the police will be in touch with the families, and we will also provide some counseling. We have counseling centers open in AJ now at 5 o'clock, and then also in McComas Center. We have counselors here at the end to be available to meet with some of the families that are coming here waiting for this news. And there will be other gatherings and support staff available to help anyone. This is a shock, is a mild understatement, and we're trying to do everything we can for these families.
Is there a phone number for families?
Yes, there is.
To check?
Yeah. There's a number. Larry, do you know what it is? You can.
231-3787. That's the Dean of Students Office.
Can you characterize how many witnesses there are that you are interviewing?
231-3787.
Area code
540.
Chief, can you outline your lockdown policy for the university?
Larry, do you want to talk about that?
I'm not on which one.
The lockdown policy.
I mean, are you saying that, do we have a policy to lock down the campus?
Yeah, like when, and under what circumstances do you do it? What's your time frame?
I don't, it's not in my communications plan.
I'll talk about it. I mean, obviously, every situation you face is different, and we do have 9,000 students on campus and about 14,000 students off campus coming in. And then what we try to determine is, are they most kept out of harm's way by staying in the dorms or staying in the academic buildings? And the latter was the decision this morning. And so we send out communications by email. We have an emergency alert system, iMessaging, and everything else to get the word to them as quickly as we can. But with 11,000 people driving into campus, it's extremely difficult, if not almost impossible, to get the word out instantaneously.
Don't you think this has rendered the lockdown system altogether ineffective?
No, I think the lockdown system, both last fall and this time, worked very well. The students were extremely cooperative. There were very few people out about on campus.
But didn't you lock it down after the first shooting, and then 30 kids are dead now?
No, we locked down the building where we thought it occurred and when we thought the incident was contained. We had no reason to suspect any other incident was going to occur.
You tried to change in the building, the academic building,
Let me get to that. Go ahead.
What sort of changes did you make in the security after the Morva incident on the first day of school?
Well, one thing we did.
The president of Virginia Tech, Charles Steger, the head of the police force on campus, Wendell Flincham, with the news conference getting some details of what happened at Virginia Tech today. And as you could hear, there's a considerable concern about the fact that the first shooting in a dormitory occurred about 7:15 in the morning. And the second round of shootings, where the most number of people were killed, vast number of people were killed, occurred about 9:30, 2¼ hours later. And the concern is, why weren't students notified? Why wasn't the campus locked down? I want to talk to a student at Virginia Tech who is joining us now. His name is Josh Wargo. He's a junior from Fairfax, Virginia, joins us on the phone. And Josh, I gather you were in Norris Hall at the time the shootings occurred. Did you have any idea that there had been an earlier shooting when you went into class?
No, not until I had evacuated Norris Hall. I heard from one of the other students.
So you heard shots in Norris Hall, but you did not know about the shootings that occurred 2.25 hours earlier?
No, I left for campus pretty early.
So tell me what happened when you heard shots.
At first, everybody was confused. They didn't know what it was. There's a lot of renovations going on around campus, and they're rebuilding Burris Hall right next door. So, the first instinct was, okay, it's a jackhammer from next door or something. Then we heard screams through the wall right behind us, and that's when it hit us that, okay, these are gunshots. We need to get out of here.
So it was in a classroom adjoining yours where the shots first rang out?
All I know is the shots were very loud, and I could hear screams coming from the wall behind me.
What did you do?
Everyone got up and was going to leave. One student went for the door and opened it, and as soon as he opened it, it seemed like the shots got louder, and they sounded like they were coming down the hallway. So they shut the door, and everyone ran to the back of the classroom and huddled behind some desks. One of the students got up and opened up the window and jumped out of the window on the second story, and it seemed like the best way to go, so everybody followed him.
So you went out the window as well?
Yes, I was lucky enough to be one of the third or fourth person out the window.
I know you're an engineering student as well. This is an engineering building. Do you know if anybody in your class was killed? Do you know any of those who may have died?
We have a small department, so one of my friends was calling around to everybody in the junior class to make sure that they were okay. I heard from her that two or three of the students who were in my class were actually shot and transported to the hospital.
And
as far as I know, they're in stable condition.
And how about your professor? Is he all right?
I've heard that he did not make it.
That he was shot as well.
Yes.
All right, Josh, I appreciate your being with us. Thanks very much. You take care.
Sure, thank you.
All right. Just one student. There are so many stories. As you heard from the president of the university, it is a college of about 25,000 students, most of whom live off campus, but about 9,000 live on campus. A large university, indeed the largest student body of full-time students of any college in the state of Virginia. The shootings at Virginia Tech, as you heard, 31 people, including the shooter, killed in Norris Hall, the engineering hall, and 2 killed in the West Ambler Johnston dormitory. For some reason, the police thought that the shootings might not be related, but they have declared the campus to be secure, so it would certainly indicate that with the shooter in Norris dead, that they feel that the same shooter was involved in both, but they're not willing to confirm that as of yet. We're going to return you now to regular programming. There's going to be a full wrap-up later on World News, and a reminder that our coverage of this story continues at our website, abcnews.com, and our 24-hour news network, ABC News Now. It has been a tragic day at Virginia Tech. I'm Charles Gibson in New York. Good afternoon.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
This is ABC.
Now what? The real conversation begins. Next, Oprah.
Suicide.
Let's give him a minute. What happened?
Concussion. Expecting to wake up. They're just going to keep him overnight as precautionary.
Oh, thank God. Good.
You should go see him.
I don't want to bother you by doing that. And I understand.
No. It'll bother me more if you don't go see him. So come on, I'll walk you.
The show can wait. Jason was almost shot to death.
But he wasn't. Jason's perfectly fine.
Do not blow this job off because of me, okay?
Listen, both of you have had your say. Now I'm gonna have mine.
Sonny and Jason should be in a morgue right now. There better be a good reason why they're not.
Morgan and Corinthos were trapped just like you anticipated. Then these 2 guys showed up.
Seemed like military types. They jumped into the mix and started shooting at our people, and everything went to hell. And you didn't stand your ground? What do I pay you for? It was the element of unpredictability. Oh, and that's supposed to make me feel better? Now Morgan and Corinthos have a chance to regroup. That was the easiest opportunity we will ever have. What are you going to do now? Well, now I'll have to have evidence planted to divert attention to one of Sonny's other rivals. And as long as I maintain this mentally deficient pretense, I can hide in plain sight. What about Sky? I'm sure she must be getting suspicious about now. She knows. She knows? I told her. And with more grace and compassion than I deserve, she has agreed to stick by me. She has promised to maintain the charade. And so will you. No problem, boss. I won't say a word. I have no doubt.
Kills me to be having this conversation with you. But I have to face the ugly fact. Lorenzo has been lying to me for God knows how long. I can't trust a word out of his mouth anymore. He probably lied to me the whole time that Alan was dying in the hospital. Alan might actually even be alive.
A lot of people would be alive, Sky, if it weren't for Alcazar. But now that you know about his little act, you're in danger, and so is your daughter.
I will do whatever it takes to keep Lila safe.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. There is a way for you to get free of Alcazar, both you and your daughter. But you're gonna have to use Sonny and Jason to do it.
You mean tell them that Lorenzo's faking the brain injury? Okay, let me take a guess at how this all falls out. Sonny and Jason kill Lorenzo. All the incriminating evidence on you goes away with him. And Sonny and Jason end up in prison.
Yeah, I kind of like the way that sounds.
Yeah, for you. You make out like a bandit while all the risk of double-crossing Lorenzo falls on my shoulders.
You got yourself into this, Sky. I'm just trying to help you get out.
I don't know. I mean, Lorenzo was Larry's father. I don't know if I can set him up.
He had no problem doing it to you, Sky. And if you think this is over, you better think again. He's going to continue using you as long as you are useful to him. The second that you're not.
Carly?
Unless you want to be held responsible for the ambush that went down tonight, get busy and arrest this witch for trying to murder Sonny.
I was just in the process of questioning Sky about the attack on Sonny and Jason.
Don't let me guess, she knows nothing. Sky was at home wiping the drool off Lila Ray and her father.
This isn't helping, Carly.
Stay out of this, Carly. You don't know what you're talking about. I know Lorenzo's a cold-blooded killer. Right, Sky? I don't have to listen to this. Let me tell you something. I don't know how deep you're into Alcazar's business, but if you had a hand in trying to have Sonny or Jason killed, I will make you pay. You can't pin this one on me and Lorenzo, Carly. Lorenzo's incapable of ordering a hit, and I wouldn't know how. And besides, Sonny and Jason have countless Why are you enemies. still defending him? You know what? You have enemies, and I'm one of them. I'm not going to forget about this. I am going to make you my favorite project. And she's pointing fingers at me for defending Lorenzo. Jax, if anyone's a fool around here, it's you for thinking you can best Sonny in what passes for Carly's heart.
Spinelli, if we are going to keep this secret, you have to stop thinking of Jason as the baby's father. He gave the baby up.
Yeah, and it's killing him.
And it's Jason's choice. Lucky is going to be there during the delivery. Lucky is going to take the baby home. Lucky is going to be the baby's father.
Okay, Lucky can be a father, but nothing will change the fact that Stone Cold is the father, okay? Even if it stays a secret forever.
This becoming a TV star thing is really fun and exciting, but I love Jason. I get to be around when something like this happens.
You said you were committed to the project, and now the first time there's a conflict, you're ready to bail?
Conflict? You call what happened tonight with Jason a conflict?
I call it a calculated risk that goes along with the life that Jason appears to have chosen.
No, excuse me. You know nothing about Jason's life.
Listen, my choices have controlled everything since you and I got together. Okay? The show is about you. It's a choice you're making, and you need to do it. I'm gonna be fine. Sonny's gonna be fine. If he wasn't, I would ask you to stay with me. You have things to do for yourself. Sam, you gotta do it.
Jason, really, what about you?
I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna wait for Carly. I'm gonna go see Sonny, and I'll catch up with you.
I thank you. My staff thanks you.
Just the man I'm looking for. Is it true? Is Lorenzo Alcazar behind the ambush at the cellar tonight?
Alan's haunting you. How much have you had to drink?
Not nearly enough.
Tell Monica why I'm haunting you.
On second thought, let's rethink this. You don't want to have to tell Monica why Alan is hanging around, do you?
Tell Monica that Father has proof that you and Luke forged my will and you had to make a deal with him.
And then there is that side deal you made with Edward.
I don't care anymore. I want it over, and I want you gone. It's true. Alan has been haunting me since the day after the memorial.
Is there any particular reason that Alan would haunt you, other than the obvious fact that you forged his will?
Shame on you, Tracy. You shouldn't intrude on Monica's grief with silly manifestations of your own nervous breakdown.
Oh, nervous breakdown, my foot. She's just up to some sort of a scam.
If I may play devil's advocate here for a moment, if Alan's spirit is restless and hanging on, maybe it's because he feels his sister is getting a raw deal.
Oh, no, I doubt that. No, and I think if Alan were going to haunt anybody, it would definitely be me.
Well, now, this is nothing to be competitive about.
Oh, Monica, you're wrong. Alan is haunting me, even as we speak.
He talks to you.
Yep, clear as day, every day. Prove it.
I need a brandy.
Make it two.
How am I supposed to prove it, Monica? Alan is sitting right there in that chair, big as life, and you can't see him, and you can't hear him.
Well, you said he talks to you. Ask him what I like most in bed.
As I understand it, you and Sonny were at Carly's old abandoned club tonight, taking a trip down memory lane, I guess, or something equally as innocent. And some gunmen ambushed you, and they intended to kill you, and they probably would have if it weren't for these two strangers, Cooper Barrett and Logan Hayes, who came to your aid. I mean, it's bad luck for those would-be assassins because, well, they're all dead, and you and Sonny were able to get away.
You know I can't say anything
Lincoln,
without my attorney.
Oh, that's a surprise.
You gonna arrest me, Rick?
Not today. Jason, I assume you already know that the dead men were traced back to Venezuela. I believe that was Alcazar's home base.
That's a familiar sight. Jason Morgan walking away from murder and mayhem. It's good to see that the DA's office is still inept when it comes to organized crime.
Refresh my memory, Baldwin. Didn't you grab your daughter and scurry out of town while you had an IA corruption investigation pending?
Do not rattle my skeletons, and I won't rattle your skeletons. Besides, we need to get along.
Really? Why is that?
Well, I guess you haven't heard. We're working together again. Mayor Floyd and his skeletons, just hired me as the special prosecutor for the DA's office.
Why would you want that job?
Well, there's certain personal things that I want to do in this town, and this is going to expedite it.
I'm waiting.
With bated breath.
Monica, what you and Alan did in bed is really not territory I wish to explore. I'll ask him anything else.
No, it has to be something that only Alan would know.
Monica, with all the men you slept with, I could do an internet search and come up with a complete inventory of your preferences.
Which only means that you're just up to something.
I'll leave it at that.
Am I the only one here who would like to know what it is that gets the heart doctor's heart racing?
Yes.
Go ahead, Tracy. Ask the question or Monica's never going to believe you.
Fine. Alan?
What was Monica's favorite activity in bed?
Oopsie daisy.
Oh, the mind reels.
What did he say? What did he say?
Oh, God, she's just stalling.
No, some things are better left unheard.
Come on, Tracy. What did Alan say?
Oopsie daisy.
I know it upsets you that I attack Sky and defend Sunny.
No, it was a natural reaction. You know. Just because you're engaged to me, it doesn't make you indifferent to Sunny.
Today you're wonderful. The way you're being so supportive and non-judgmental. It really makes me love you more.
Why don't you go check on him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Elizabeth's doctor, and I want to go in there. Listen, it looks really weird that you care so much about this baby. I have a reason to be here, and I can feed Jason all the information he wants to know about this baby now and forever. So can that be enough, please? Okay. Look, if you want to help, make sure Jason stays away.
Hey, we need to make sure the medication you took to stop the labor is working. Doesn't have to be far, but you need to see if you can walk without triggering more contractions.
Okay.
Baby's just anxious to see her dad.
Or his. Still, the closer the term he or she can get, the better.
Okay.
And patience is definitely a Spencer trait. I mean, but with all this love waiting, I mean, who can blame the baby for wanting to come early?
You're so predictable. Do you know that? I go out of town for one night and you almost get yourself killed. You can't do that, okay? You gotta be okay. You have to be okay, and you have to live a very happy, fulfilling life, and that way I'll be able to. You're gonna be all right. You're right on the head, but you're gonna be okay.
Don't leave me.
I wasn't gonna let anyone know that I was here. I just heard that Elizabeth went into
Okay,
labor. I just
you don't
wanted to
have
make
to
sure she was
explain.
okay. and
You don't
the
have to
baby.
explain, and you don't have to worry. Dr. Lee gave Elizabeth something to help her with the contractions, and it seems to be working, and she should be able to carry the baby to term. I know that this is hard for you, but I think that I can help.
How?
Well, I can be a source of as much information about the baby as you want.
You would do that?
Well, it's the least that I can do after the amazing sacrifice that you've made for my brother.
I just want my baby to be okay.
Love it. Good. All right, let me just change the lens.
Hotel security is holding a bunch of reporters outside, but they're creating a disturbance.
Hey, wait a minute, Marty. They are probably here about the shooting. I'm gonna just go out there and give them a quick no comment, and I'm sure they will go away. Give us a minute. Come on, you've got that look on your face again.
Look, as upsetting as the attempt on Sunny and Jason's lives might be, we cannot buy this kind of publicity. So we need to take advantage.
Oopsie daisy? You must have heard that wrong.
What the hell is an oopsie? Never mind. I don't want to know.
I do.
This is disgusting. My sentiments precisely. How could you? How could you be listening outside our bedroom when Alan and I are making love and filing it away? That is such a low, Tracy. I did no such thing. You asked me to ask Alan what your favorite thing in bed was. That was his answer. Horsepucky, Alan never would have told you anything so personal.
You know, in Spanky's defense, it's not really personal unless you know the specific ins and outs
Oh,
of the act.
listen, I'm watching you, Tracy. every move you make, every little tiny scheme you're going to try to hatch. And I really would appreciate it if you leave Alan out of it. He is dead. Please, let him rest in peace. Happy? It backfired.
I'm worried about you, Tracy. Seeing ghosts, spying on your brother in his wife's most intimate moments. I think it's time that you see a professional.
Daddy, I didn't spy on anyone. I might as well have, because now the hideous connotations of oopsie-daisy are permanently seared into my brain.
It's not what you think.
Not another word!
Oh, God, I wholeheartedly agree. I think that's a wrap for me, too. I'm going to leave you to work this out with Alan's chair.
Wait. Please don't go.
Oh, you're back. I'm starting to get concerned. I thought you just went out to get Lila Ray some teething medicine.
Oh, I had the misfortune of running into Carly at the hospital. You know, she started screaming, making threats, accusations. What else is new?
What kind of threats?
Well, she accused me of ordering that hit on Sonny and Jason since you are supposedly out of commission. She's practically shouting it from the rooftops, Lorenzo. And she has Sonny's ear like nobody else. What if he believes her? What if Sonny and Jason suddenly decide to return the favor and put a hit on me?
You think I'm gonna let that happen?
Well, they're not going to notify you in advance. Look, I said I'd cover for you, but I don't know. I'm starting to get afraid.
I'm so sorry. This is why I went back and forth with telling you. Maybe you were better off believing that I was incapacitated. I don't know.
No. Knowing helps me know what it is exactly that I have to do.
You truly are just the most beautiful woman in the world.
Do you know what happened tonight?
I got panned at the cellar. But Jason, is he all right?
He's okay.
Oh.
He wants to come see you, but he said I could see you first.
Where's the boys?
I haven't heard from Michael, so I'm assuming he doesn't know.
I don't want them to know.
I don't either.
I'm sorry for scaring you.
I was scared. I can't imagine a world without you, so you need to be more careful.
Feel free to keep reminding me that.
That would make me a nag.
No, because it would tell me how much you care for me.
Get some rest. I do care.
Wait. I just about died. That's the best you can do.
Do you remember where Do you remember where I went tonight?
You went to Canada with Jack.
While we were there, he proposed and I said yes.
I'm sorry, Tracy. I'm starting to feel a little crowded.
Quiet. I believe my sister is about to have a genuine moment.
I never believed in ghosts, not even as a kid. There are times I wanted to believe. I wanted to see my mother. I've laid awake nights and willed her to come to me, but she never has.
Not because she didn't love you.
But I do see and hear my brother. And I refuse to believe that it is a figment of my guilty conscience because, as I have said time and again, I have no guilt about what we did.
Well, that's a relief.
My brother was sentimental. That's why he left everything to the children he wanted Jason to have. But sentimentality can't run ELQ. And if the price of forging his will is that he sticks around, so be it. I love you. And I hate that you are dead. But the truth is that there's part of me that's very glad you're still around.
I'm touched. But I have a job to do, Tracy. I can't let you manipulate me out of it.
But I don't want to lose you. You're greedy, disreputable, and untrustworthy. And you get me like nobody has ever gotten me in my life. You make me feel alive. You make me laugh. In fact, you are quite possibly the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. But do not make me choose between you and Alan, because I can't.
Holy mackerel. You really love this guy.
I'm not going to make you choose. I hit the jackpot when I married you in more ways than one. There's no way I'm going to leave. At least not permanently.
Wow, that's oddly comforting.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. You really love Luke. That's more punishment than I could ever inflict on you. It's okay, listen. I am going to do you a favor, Tracy. I am going to leave you alone with your husband.
Thank you.
What'd he do?
He left. You and I are blessedly alone, for the night anyway. Say, got any ideas about how we can pass the time?
We could try to figure out what it is that makes somebody say, oops, a daisy.
It wasn't easy to come to terms with all this, especially the everyone cheats on everyone else part. But this way is best for the baby, and maybe knowing that will make it easier for you. Spinelli is another story.
What'd he do?
He freaked out, and he thought that the baby would be born and you wouldn't be a part of it, so he showed up with a video camera. Don't worry, I handled it.
Well, thank you. You know, you're so involved in everybody else's life. How's your life?
What life?
Jason. Well, we had a close call, but we managed to convince this little baby girl or boy that there was no need to rush.
Oh, we'll be ready with even more love when it's time.
Yeah. That's what a baby needs. I actually have to check on Sonny.
Is he okay?
Yeah, concussion, but he's gonna be fine.
You know, that was nice of Jason to come and check on you.
Yeah, maybe he feels connected. After all, he did save Elizabeth and the baby in the elevator that day.
Jason and Sonny don't talk to the press about these things, which means it's probably best if I don't either.
Forgive me for stating the obvious, but Jason and Sonny are gangsters, or alleged gangsters. Either way, they generate a lot of media attention, most of it negative. You're a TV host who's been linked to both men. You need to take the limelight they have afforded you, downplay what they do, and talk up your own thing.
I don't know, capitalizing on this just feels so cold.
Well, it's a cold world, or we wouldn't have a show. That's why you need to take this opportunity and make it count.
Unless I'm still out of it. I probably didn't hear you right.
You heard me. Jax proposed. And I said yes.
Unless I've been unconscious for 5 months. Last time I heard, you and I are, still husband and wife.
Until you sign the divorce papers.
You were the first person I saw when I woke up. If the situation was reversed, I'd be there for you too. It's not about signing a piece of paper. It's about we love each other till the end.
I do love you.
Well,
I
then what?
love you, Sonny. I do. And I am always gonna love you, but I love Jax too. I love Jax too, in a different way, in a healthier way, in a way that makes me happy. And you know what? I want to be his wife.
Well, I got some time to change your mind. But September? I'm not even sure. Did I add that right?
You're just going to drag this out as long
No, I'm
as
not going to drag things out. I'm just saying to you, I'm not going to give up. It's that easy.
You're not going to let me. But you can't force me to stay.
Give us a break. Well, I guess it hasn't sunk into that empty head of yours, Spencer. Alan's dead.
How would you like to join him?
Why don't you just leave before I have you arrested for trespassing?
Well, I'm here on official business. My new job, special prosecutor for the DA's office.
What's that, a fancy way of saying dog catcher?
Well, then, catch this. Filed a petition to take over custody of Laura. And guess what? I think the court's gonna agree.
I want to go home now, okay?
You're crying. Is it about Sonny?
I had to hurt him, and that makes me sad. But he had to know in no uncertain terms that I love you, and you are the man I'm gonna marry.
I thought Carly was here. She's come and gone. She tell you?
Tell me what?
She got engaged to Jax again. But it doesn't matter, because she can't get married till I sign the divorce paper. So it gives me 5 months,
Sonny,
to do what I have to do.
Sonny, come on, Carly doesn't want to be married to you.
You're saying I should give up?
I'm saying just because you love someone doesn't mean that everything's going to work out and you can get back together. Sometimes the best way to love someone is just to let them go.
Jason has no idea who was behind the attack on the cellar tonight, but it does make you stop and think, doesn't it? I mean, what would you do if you suddenly found yourself the target of random violence?
How would you handle it?
First, you don't give in to panic. Pay attention to your surroundings. Look for a way out. No one likes to imagine worst-case scenarios, but a little mental preparation and forethought could be the difference between life and death.
Will this be the focus of Everyday Heroes?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it will. Look, anyone can be a victim. We only remain one if we don't react with clear thought and calm action, which means no rash moves. And they can haunt us for the rest of our lives.
I didn't mean to get upset.
You're allowed. My God, you've been so resilient. Sky, I am so grateful.
Well, it's almost over, right? I mean, soon you can start to get well.
Well, I know this isn't what you want to hear. But since the hit went wrong, me getting well is a long way off. In the meantime, I can get Sonny and Jason onto someone else's track, continue to run the business through you, and hope that when the time comes, you'll give it back. At least I don't have to pretend with you anymore. You want to know the truth? I rather enjoy playing the town nitwit. Gives me an opportunity to gauge who's useful and whose usefulness has come to an end.
I should go check on Lila Ray.
No, let me. She needs to know Daddy's in control.
I can't talk long.
You're right. I have to get out while I still can.
I will do what's ever necessary to take Lorenzo down.